page 3. I will pace us through some of the problems in a minute, so give me a second to catch up. But I guess let's just go ahead and start. The third page, starting 31. Thank you. That's the review of 30 back one. Review. Yeah, what we're going to do. Yeah. It's 30. Yeah, got it. Thanks. 14 requires implicit. And we have to do it twice. This one is asking for the second derivative function. So, or second derivative equation. So once we get to our dy dx, let's do a little bit of cleanup here. So I don't deal with the 2 and 10. I have to go through quotient rule, and within quotient rule, dy dx will pop up again. And if I get to dy dx, I can replace dy dx with x over 5y. Take this up a little further. But technically, we can get all the way to this point, because after we find common denominator, to merge the two fractions, multiply by the reciprocal, we get it all the way to this point, and 5y squared minus x squared. If we rearrange the original equation, we can set 5y squared minus x squared equal to -3. So technically, we get all the way down to this stage here. But on test, I'll accept this form. But I think it's just good to know that we could get all the way down to this stage, going through a series of cleanup and substitutions. Uh, 15, hopefully that's pretty straightforward. There's no need for implicit for 15, just find the second derivative, plug in -1. 16, when you find your second derivative, you can just start going, once you get down to the second derivative level, you just go ahead and start replacing all your x's and y's with 2 and 3, because 16 is not asking for your second derivative function. It's just asking you for the value. So no need to do any cleanup. Once you get down to the second derivative level, start replacing all your x and y values with 2 and 3. And then for the dy dx, just go back to dy dx, see what that value is, make that substitution, and then as long as you have a numeric representation of your answer, I'll accept unsimplified version. But if we went all the way down to common denominator, combining like terms, we get all the way down to -13/27.
So would you set something like -3 minus 4/3 all over 9?
Yeah, I'll accept that. One thing I want to point out about your quiz that you just got back, just careful with problems that have product rule in them. And then and sometimes it's easy to overlook it because it looks just like, oh, two expressions multiplied together. I think our tendency is we could want to just find the derivatives of both, but Yeah, I have different versions of the quiz, but I think around like 10 through 13, some of the problems require product rule.
Mine was 11.
Hmm?
Mine was 11.
Oh, my, yeah, so yeah. So just be careful about that. That's um, unless you see a plus or minus between the two individual terms, you're really gonna have to do a little bit more than just the derivative of the things you see in front of you. So, any questions, 13 through 16? Seventeen, we have to go through quotient rule, and within quotient rule, that h of x to the 1/2 requires chain rule. Then after that, it's just a matter of replacing all your x values with 3, and then relying on the table of values to get it all the way down to a numeric answer. Again, I'll accept unsimplified version as long as you get them all to be numeric values, and I know that you understand how to get to those numbers, you can stop. Since you won't have a calculator on the test. Eighteen and 19 are just using that table, that chart to work your way around and finding the inverse, the derivative inverse at a point. But 19 goes a little bit further. After you find that slope, you're going to have to go one step further and put it into some sort of an equation line, either a tangent line or slope intercept or a point slope form. Yeah, pay special attention to 17. Let me know if there's any parts that that you're confused on in terms of building out the quotient rule and then the chain rule within that. Okay, if you're good with page 3, go to page 4. Otherwise, keep working on page 3. I just want to point out number six. First is there's need for implicit because you have y's mixed into the equation, so you're expecting two dy dx's to show up as you build your derivative. Second is making sure that we see the need for product rule as well, x, y. They're being multiplied. We can't merge them together, so they're going to stay separate. We're going to have to go through product rule. And the third thing is that careful with this minus sign here. When you go through product rule, it's f prime g plus f p prime, but that minus is going to end up distributing through your product rule. So I should protect the xy, the product rule with a set of parentheses, and then I distribute the negative through so that I don't forget about that. So just be aware of those subtle steps for number six. It's always that first step, right? You get that first step down, everything kind of falls into place better. But yeah, identifying, what is needed. Is it implicit? Is it chain rule? Is it product? Is it a combination of those? And getting that first step correct is I think the hardest. As you guys are finishing up, the last thing that I want you to ask you to do, if you're finished with all these, is see if you can fill out the formula sheets. Now, on the test, I'm not going to give you a blank formula sheet. It's just there to kind of help you organize your rules. But you're welcome to have a scratch sheet during the test if you want to have a place to write down all your rules. Okay, so Monday, I'm just going to be checking pages 3 and 4. I'm not going to spend any more class time reviewing. We're going to be starting our next unit, unit 4, on Monday. But I'll be available Monday morning. I said 7:15, but I think we'll make it 7:30. Just for students to come in if you have any questions, if you want me to go over any specific problems. I don't have any additional practice problems for you. However, in your packets, we did skip through some problems. We did do odds for some of them. So if you want additional practice, you can pick out some of the even problems. But I do want to make myself available Monday morning for a help session if you have any questions that you want to go over. But Tuesday's test will be, it won't be as long as this, but it'll highlight each of the types of problems that you see. So, any questions at this time?
The test was like on the front and back.
It's like 3 pages. Yeah. Oh, guys, I also want to talk about something that is going to be coming up as far as what I'm going to do with this class. So it won't affect this next unit, but the unit after. So teachers are asked to find ways to cut down on paper, and I still like to have to use packets, but I think this is what we're going to do. I already printed out the packets for you next unit, so it won't affect next unit, but the unit after, I think I'm just going to print out a class copy of the packets. So if you want to have your own packets to write in, I have it on my website at the top of the unit page. You can print it out. But otherwise, if you don't want to print it out, that's fine. You'll pick up a class copy. This will start unit 5, but don't write in it. I want to save it for the next class and potentially use it year after year. But you're just going to be writing your notes on a separate sheet of paper instead of writing in the packet. So it's going to take some adjustment. And then for homework, if you don't have your own packets, if you're doing it on a separate sheet, I'm just going to ask you that for the homework problems that you write down the problem and your solution so that when I come around to check, it's easy for me to see that you're showing me the problems that I've assigned. So it'll take some adjustments, but you can still print out your own packet. But if you don't print out your own packet, you can still have a class copy, but just don't write in it. So not unit 4, but unit 5, we're going to start that. Oh, I still will print out your test reviews and your quiz reviews, but I'll just do class copies for those packets.
Yeah, I've seen someone print out like 6. Even if you're like half that. There's like I
Bring it up and then product. Have a great weekend, guys. See you Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good weekend, guys.
What's this thing? Probably. My dad will go into the carriage. Oh, no, that.
Have a good weekend. So, Yang, but he was not here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Why is it like a box?
Yeah.
What are these? That should be there. Wait. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I know what I did. I just.
But I'll give you
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Look at the rest.
guys, handouts.